Hi everyone, I am Leo Babauta of Zen Habits, and in today's video, this is a really important video, so please watch. It is about the most important skill that you can learn in your adult life. One of the most important skills, not the only one, but it is how to regulate your emotions. Now, before you close this video, I want to tell you why this is so important. If you could learn to do this, this is a skill that most people don't even realize they don't have. But if you can learn to do this, you will be able to change anything in your life. You'll be able to navigate the chaos of your life, the overwhelm of your life, the frustrations of your life with a lot more calm and peace and focus. You'll be able to turn towards difficult things like difficult conversations, which will change your relationships. You'll be able to turn towards difficult tasks, which will change your procrastination and give you some focus. You'll be able to change your habits, health habits, productivity habits, mindfulness habits, all of it. You'll be able to navigate really difficult situations in ways that you haven't been already. And if you think you're already good at this, great, but there's always more that you can learn. And for most people, I would say 99% of people, they are not good at this because we are not taught emotional regulation as kids. Now this should be more important than anything else that we teach kids, more important than math and reading. And I believe strongly in math and reading, more important than science and history for sure. Those are amazing topics. More important than technology and environmental science and politics and democracy. All of those are incredibly important topics, but it's more important than any of those. We are not taught it as kids, and therefore we are not good at it as adults. All of our problems stem from this skill or the lack of it. And so I'm going to talk about why this is so important. Actually, I just talked about why it's important. I'm going to talk more about like how to actually do it and how it affects everything and give you a little bit of a training practice method at the end. Before I do that, quick little plug for you to give me a question or a topic for a future video. I've been listening to all of your comments. I read every single comment and I respect them. I care about them. I appreciate them. Even if you just say thank you. But please, if you have a question for me, if there's a question that you have to follow up on this video or any other video that you watch, if you have a topic you'd like me to talk about, post it in the comments. I promise you it matters to me. Okay, emotional regulation. Let's talk about what it is first. So this is an ability to calm ourselves down when we have emotions. The problem is most people don't even realize that they are having an emotion. So we just don't have the ability, the awareness that there's an emotion going on. And, like for example, let's say you're procrastinating. All you see is the procrastination. You don't see that there is an emotion that's going on here. For example, some uncertainty and fear and anxiety or stress. Um, Maybe there's some dread and resistance in there. These are just different terms for this kind of like tightening in your chest, or like an anxious kind of feeling in your chest. If you are struggling with someone else, what you'll see is how this person is behaving in a terrible way, a way that you don't like. But what you're not going to see is the frustration in you, the powerlessness in you, the hurt in you, whatever it is. One of these things, maybe some sadness. We won't see these things because all we see is the external stuff. This is where our eyes are focused. This is where our minds are. We're thinking about all of that out there. And our mistaken belief is that if I can arrange all of these things in my life, all the external circumstances in just the right way, then I don't have to feel this. Then everything will be solved. We don't know that we're feeling this, so we don't say, then I don't have to feel it. But that's actually the unstated belief. If I can arrange and fix everything out here, then all of this stuff gets solved. It's their fault. It's the world's fault. It's all of the things I'm not doing's fault that I'm feeling this. And therefore I need to do all of this stuff, change all of it so that I don't have to do this. An example of that is like, oh, the world, like all of these people are behaving in a really frustrating way. And the unstated part is I don't like to feel frustration. And so the unstated belief that is just ingrained in us is, if I can stop people from acting in a frustrating way, then I don't have to feel this. So for example, I'm going to go tell them, like, you need to act this way. My kids, you need to behave this way, and I need to teach you not to act in a frustrating way. My spouse, I need to tell them all the ways that they're wrong, so they can stop acting this way. My coworkers, I need to get them acting perfectly. The world that I'm living in, politics, wars, I need to change all of that so I don't have to feel this. And so that is fixing my eyebrows. That is actually our mistaken belief, is I can arrange all of this stuff. I don't have to feel this. And this is why emotional regulation is so important, is because if we actually can see that we're feeling something as a result of external factors, as a result of our own thoughts and beliefs, all there might be to do is to just breathe and be with the feeling and slow down and take care of it. If we could do that and calm ourselves and get ourselves into a calmer state of mind, into a different part of our nervous system, then the external stuff doesn't necessarily need to change. Now, we might still want to change it, but it doesn't need to change in order to change our internal state. The internal state is taken care of, and we still might care about like how people are acting, or taking care of our tasks or emails or whatever it is that we want to take care of. But we do it from a very different place, not so that I can fix my internal state, but because there's something that I care about. And our responses to how people are acting or the world around us become more appropriate responses, rather than I need to like over respond because I don't like feeling this way. And it's like, stop doing all of that. So this is why it's so important, is because it is this unseen force in our lives. This internal emotional state is an unseen force in our lives. We don't even know that it's happening when we are, distracting ourselves all day long. We don't realize it's because of some internal state. We think the distractions and all of our comforts are going to make us feel better, but actually that doesn't work. So we don't realize that we're trying to do something to fix this, to change our internal state, that is ineffective. Shopping, online shopping, social media, porn habits, procrastination. These are all ways, ineffective means to change our internal state. So what if we could become more effective? So how do we do it? So first of all, recognize that the internal state is happening. If you're doing any of that external stuff, this person's acting in this like frustrating way, well, then you have some frustration or powerlessness. If you're procrastinating or resisting something or distracting yourself or eating comfort foods all the time, there's an internal state. So just notice, like, what is my internal state? So I have to recognize that there is an internal state. And then I have to ask myself, what is it? And get curious about it. Recognize there's an internal state that's happening, and then get curious about it. What is going on? And curious, not so much as like an intellectual exercise, but more, can I just feel that internal state? What does it feel like as a physical experience in my body? So if you can do that, the third step would be just stay there with it. When I say stay there, I mean take some deep breaths. Keep your attention on it. Just feel it with some curiosity. Let yourself feel it. And do this for a little while. If you can do it for a minute or two, great. If you can do it for 5 minutes, amazing. But if you can only do it for 5-10 seconds, that's good enough. Do whatever you're able to do. You don't have to do it for very long. Breathe. And imagine that this were like a little kid who had some emotional needs right now, and all you had to do is sit there with them. Just like sit there with a accepting, kind of friendly attitude, maybe loving, accepting, friendly, loving, calm, breathing, spacious, kind of like, I'm just sitting here with you. We do that with whatever our internal state is, whether it's frustration and anger, whether it's anxiousness or overwhelm, whether it's sadness or hurt or grief, whether it's powerlessness or helplessness or pointlessness or hopelessness or any of these kinds of things. So we just sit here with it. And that's really all you need to do. If you want to tell yourself anything, like It's okay. It's okay for you to feel this way. I love you. Whatever it is, like whatever you would have liked as a little kid when you were feeling this way from your parents or a good friend, give that to yourself. Even some nice reassurance like, yeah, you're okay. You're good enough. You're beautiful. You're amazing. These are going to feel really silly because we were trained that these are not things that we should receive. So you have to practice it even in the face of it feeling wrong, silly, uncomfortable. Try it anyway. Practice it over and over and over. Give yourself this thing that you need. And what will happen is you'll train yourself that it's okay to feel what you're feeling. You can breathe and slow down and regulate it and drop into a different place, a different part of your nervous system that is calmer, and that you're going to meet your own emotional needs. You're not going to abandon yourself. If you can do this, it will change everything. And so I encourage you to practice with it in the way that I've just said. Notice your internal state. Get curious about what it is. Stay there with it. Breathe. Be there with acceptance and friendliness and even love. Give yourself some encouragement. Meet your emotional needs and know that it's okay to have those needs and to meet them and to be there with them and that you're a freaking amazing. So that's what I've got for you. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for future content because I'm going to create more really powerful, useful videos like this. And send this to someone else in your life who could use some Zen habits in their lives. Thanks, my friends.